It's safe to say that Rinascita blew away the expectations of everyone playing it. All the quality of life, landscapes, flight, it's all so peak. And while I've been to Venice in Italy, it felt like I was back there because rather than a budget fontaine, we have an amazing town with amazing landscapes. You remember Water 7 from One Piece? Yeah, same feelings of adventure when I breeze across this town. Not only that, but flight is a real game changer. Getting used to it took about a day, but I can zip around to any location that I want to on the map. The luxury of unlimited exploration is profound. I don't even know of many open world games that allow you to freely fly around like you can in Wuthering Waves. There's nothing like looking at the back of your character as you breeze through the air with the wind flowing between your cheeks. In addition, the story content. Absolute cinema. This place gives Italian vibes and I am loving it. They said they step up their voice acting, and they surely did. Carlotta sounds majestic, Brant sounds amazing, and Zani, what does she sound?
I'm Zani from the Apparato Band.
Okay, not only are my pants wet, but I flooded my entire house. Nightmare echoes, new sonata effects, new bosses. This really is a fantastic update with so much to do. Every time you think you've uncovered something, there's something new that you have yet to experience. This really begs the question, however, has Wuthering Waves reached its peak? When you go so far up, where else can you go after? Kuro Games is by far the most innovative gacha company in existence, but is their innovation going to lead to their downfall? What if the new updates cannot match what they set forth from here on out? And not only that, but there are still a myriad of issues that remain unfixed, as well as things that I feel should be implemented in the game that are not yet present. My name is Void Enigma, and I'll be discussing why Wuthering Waves Climax is merely the beginning of the game's life cycle. Every game has that moment, that peak, but I believe that this is not Wuthering Waves' peak potential. Make sure to subscribe and like if you're enjoying the content, and let's get right into it. To be honest, when Wuthering Waves first released, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They used Genshin Impact as a carbon copy, made everything better than Genshin Impact, and then made their own tweaks. The combat system and the story, a skip button, are the only additions that made Wuthering Waves truly stand out. There are of course more things like the elusive realm, the way that they handle endgame, the character stories, and the gearing that are all massive improvements, but at a face value it just seemed too similar to Genshin. Alongside the requirements to run the game, bad optimization on mobile devices, and a lot of errors and glitches, some would argue that the game was doomed from the start. In fact, many people did say that. To truly enjoy Wuthering Waves in version 1.0, you would need to either have a powerful phone or a powerful PC to bypass all of the technical restrictions. Things, however, changed immediately when Kuro Games did the one thing that no big gaming company ever does. They listened. Bugs and issues were a pest, and Kuro was quick at spraying the reward spray on every issue that arose. Compensation, free 5 stars, actual communication. This is their attempt to tell the players, hey, we might have fucked up, but give us a chance here. Trust me, your investment will be worth it. Each update from here further expanded upon the optimizations across all devices. To be fair, Kuro Games had no choice. If their product wasn't perfect, then they would truly be another mid-gacha game. I don't know when it became evident, but somewhere around version 1.2 or 1.3, I began to see posts and comments about how the game finally worked on people's phones. Well done, Kuro Games. They were pretty ambitious to fix every problem, and this became their lifeline. It was not something they could afford not to do, because they were in the space where they had to make the changes or suffer the consequences of a dead game. Each new update brought forth more good ratings and more players. The accessibility was finally reaching a new height, despite the haters who heavily criticized the game. It honestly shows some dedication to go onto Wuthering Waves live stream and spread propaganda like some heretic. Like, damn, I should be impressed rather than disappointed with their dedication to that. With version 1.1 and 1.2 releasing, and them garnering more loyal players, 1.3 was a pinnacle moment for Wuthering Waves. The release of, quite frankly, the most majestic and beautiful character in Wuthering Waves, Beachkeeper. Because if she merely acts, she would have all of us as the bitches on her shores. Shorekeeper's story and design really was something. They solidified a high rating on the Google Play Store, as well as on stuff like Bilibili with a whole bunch of good feedback, and the entire Tethys design really shows that Wuthering Waves map design can go even further. Their music was vastly improved from here on, and that is actually the same for 2.0 as well. Following the version of 1.3, we had arguably the most unique designed character in the game's release. A fan favorite as she appeared in version 1.0 of the game, Camellia. People really love a woman who will fuck you up, like ragtag destroy your ass. I Can Fix Camellia was a trending topic in the Wuthering Waves community, and it was such a powerful notion that it even affected me. Like, who wouldn't want a woman to wrap you up in her vines, pull you close with the thorns, etching lovely blood into your body as you take Camellia's lovely bud in your... Camellia's combat design is really showing just how good a character can be. Actually, every single character in Wuthering Waves can feel extremely unique, but Camellia, her swaying with her vines was something that just has never been seen before in a game. Sure, there are similar roles, but no two characters actually play the same in Wuthering Waves, and that is Wuthering Waves' strong suit. The character design. Even their 4-stars have crazy abilities, techs, and fun mechanics that those dedicated to those characters will be able to finally abuse. One such example is that sometimes when you swap between characters, you can continue their attack animation by moving back to them, essentially allowing zero downtime to a quick swap. Camellia and Chun-Li are examples of characters who can do that, and it's damn hard to perfect, but maybe there's someone out there who can just do this on command with a lot of practice. When the game launched in 1.0 and we had Jinzhou, there was no way in hell that I thought Rinascita was merely 6 months away. Merely half a year into their life cycle, we are getting a brand new region. I thought we'd have to slog through side quests and filler content for another half a year, but instead, we get so much content. Insane, right? The previews and the release of Rinascita really helped build the hype for this game and the 2.0 release. Wuwa has finally made an identity of their own, a game and company who will do their best to make innovative experiences for the player and always do better than they did previously before. A dev that always listens to feedback is bound to be successful when you combine that with a AAA tier game design. It's a liberating experience to know that these changes that we ask for are heard by the devs and they listen to our feedback. Like, come on, there's nothing more frustrating than writing feedback that isn't feedback because you never get feedback implemented into your game. Like, imagine filling out that version survey, getting the rewards for credits or, Mora, only for all of that feedback to be permanently ignored. With all of that being said, they are constantly making small missteps in the weirdest of places. A patch doesn't exist that doesn't have at least 8 typos, like, I write my own scripts, and Evan I donut many tiptoes, so cone on, Kuro. Oh, shit. Additionally, there are things like Tower of Adversity that was fixed to let you swap artifacts, but they forgot to allow you to swap weapons at the same time, and that's just unnecessary. Like, make your fixes, not fixes that need to be fixed. They did fix it pretty quickly though, so I appreciate that. Now that we arrived at 2.0, is this game destined to go downhill from here? They've done so much already, how are they going to top that? The developers for Wuthering Waves released a killer update, but will that update kill their game? The amount of content put into the patch makes you really wonder if they can elevate this further when 3.0 releases. Well, the devs have already answered that question for us. Directly from Solon himself, the CEO of Kuro Games, they are excited and happy to say that they are actually making a growing game, and the revenue and praise that they received is the highest it's ever been. All of their efforts are paying off, and they are confident that they will continue to be ambitious and create more fun and engaging content for us. They hit a new milestone, and they want the players to see and feel the confidence in their long-term operation of the game's lifecycle. All this means is, they're not done. They are just beginning. With all of that being said, Wuthering Waves is by no means a perfect game. They have a few glaring issues that need correction, and I hope they are able to achieve it. One major point of concern is their men to female ratio. When the game released, it was way more balanced than it is now, but as of now, there are 18 female characters and 7 men. That's 28% male and 72% female, and this will get worse in the future as there are 3 more girls being released and just 1 guy. They've got an untapped audience of people who enjoy male characters, and I understand that most gacha games like their hot girls, but some people like the hot men too. What's the point of playing a gacha game if you can't simp over your characters? And that brings me to another issue that people are really turned off by, and that is, every Resonator wants that Rovussy. It's a common trope that everyone wants to smash the main character, and while each individual quest involving Rover and their lover, is quite well done and executed perfectly, it can rub people the wrong way when it happens to, every limited 5-star character, except of course, the men. Personally, I don't have an issue with it, as this lets the fandom ship whoever they want to ship with the main character, but I understand that the sentiment is an issue in some people's eyes. I do wish that they stuck with the story's concept in the beta, where everyone hated Rover initially, and they came to earn the respect of those around them. After the first act of the story, Rover has established themselves as a very strong and dependable person. This would make people fawn over them much more believable. We reach the same end goal anyways, and it just makes the whole progression in the beginning more tight and clean instead of just everyone loves the Rover from the beginning. Additionally, they've got to get their elusive realm under wraps. 1 second it's here, 1 second it's gone, and elusive realm is one of the best game modes that Wuthering Waves has to offer, and the fact that it's temporary is a big issue. I do understand that adding new characters' unique upgradable kits with each update may be a big ordeal to accomplish alongside their current pacing, but I think it's something that needs to be done. And another thing, they released new Nightmare Echoes, which is a fantastic addition to the game. I absolutely love them, but not being able to transfer your old Echoes to Nightmare Echoes is a bit disappointing. I literally farmed all of these for Gion, and none of them were crit rate. Not a single one. Over 20 times I killed this guy and didn't get a single crit rate one. I did end up winning when I got my first crit rate one, and it rolled beautifully, surpassing the one that I already had, but still. Echoes need the added option to change their moveset rather than be new Echoes entirely. Hopefully, this is added in a future update. I'm very confident that they'll do something along the lines, considering we can't even use our Phantom Echoes with the new ones. Lastly, as amazing as Flight is, if I've 100%ed a previous region, why am I not allowed to use Flight there? They already implemented an option to use the loot mapper with a permit obtained in Rinascita to actually use the loot mapper wherever you want in Rinascita, so why do we not have the same in reverse for Flight? If you've 100% of the region, then there's no reason to not allow Flight in that area. Like, come on, please. This has to happen, as Flight is just amazing and there is no reason to lock it to Rinascita only. I always knew that Wuthering Waves was the game that I would dedicate some years to. They always tend to surpass my expectations, and while not perfect, they are trying, and that's all that I ask for. I feel appreciated as a player, and I know that if Wuthering Waves ever fucks up, they will listen to the feedback and make the changes that need to be done. So your best tool as a player is to get feedback. If you don't like the Flight, give them feedback. If you don't like the Nightmare Echoes, give them feedback because it works. Wuthering Waves is on to new heights, and as we come home to the mansion that Koro Game has implemented, we will truly be the pioneers of these waves. To answer the question if we can get much higher, the answer is they will always be reaching for new heights. I look forward to this wonderful game, and I can finally say Wuthering Waves is my favorite gacha game. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and make sure to comment down below what you think of Rinascita. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end and for the recent support as well. Until next time, Enigma out.